What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into CHGO Bulls Pregame, presented to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download their app and be sure to use promo code CHGO when you sign up. I am Matt Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. These are my guys. Big Dave Watson is at BAW, BAWL Sports.
We got a Watson today.
Will, the GOAT, Gottlieb is at Will_Gottlieb. Follow him for all of his Bulls insider info.
We got ourselves a Watson.
A Watson.
Watson.
Our producer and our pal Joey Spathis is at Joey Spathis. Follow him too. We are CHGO_Bulls. Bulls Celtics.
Yeah.
Part 4 tonight, gentlemen. It's going to be tough. Getting wins on that stupid Celtics floor is never easy. But the Bulls have a chance to win the regular season series against the currently leading the East, Boston Celtics, with a win tonight. They are 2-1 against the Celtics so far this season, Dave. Doesn't seem normal or right?
Yes, it does.
But it is.
No, it seems right. It's the way the season has been going for
Factual.
them. This is exactly right. They're in the right place. I feel good about it, actually. The Bulls, they play Boston very, very well. They match up really well with them. We haven't seen them going against Time Lord. That'll be new for sure. See how that works out. But, I feel excited about them. The Bulls have kind of found themselves a little bit, found their two-man game with DeMar and Zach. Vooch is, running things through him, letting him, do the pass out of the post, hitting his threes a little bit better from the top of the key. Patrick Williams picking a quarter and snapping off in that quarter and doing his thing. And, the bench just coming in and playing solid defense, Will, and contributing where they can.
I got 3 words for you.
Okay.
Bulls in 6.
Bulls
in the wise words of Ricky O'Donnell. Bulls in 6.
Are you fast forwarding to the 1-8 Celtics Bulls matchup?
The point is
in April?
They're better. They're better. Bulls are going to win.
They're better.
Big Dave, you mentioned the return of the Time Lord. In the first 3 matchups between Bulls and Celtics so far this season, Time Lord had been absent for all of them, making his way back from that arthroscopic knee surgery he had at the tail end of the offseason. And so it seems like they're easing him back in, and this will be the first time the Bulls face the Celtics with Time Lord out there. If you see there what his 21-22 season stats were, which, by the way, earned him to the all-defensive second team, and he had the best defensive rating in the entire NBA.
Me anxiety.
Yeah. The clock ticking?
Yeah.
It sounded like a bomb. 10 points per game, not a whole lot of scoring, but look at the efficiency from him, 73.6 field goal percentage. Basically averaged a 10-10 double-double last season, doing a bulk of his work on the offensive glass, 3.9 offensive rebounds per game, also 2.2 blocks per game. Fast forward to this season, in a small sample size so far, he's played 9 games, all appearances so far off the bench, as opposed to last season when he started all 61 games he played in. Just the stats come down a little bit. He's averaging just under 8 points per game so far this season, but even more ridiculous efficiency. You know what Time Lord's field goal percentage is this season in his 9 games so far?
What is it?
83.8%.
I think that's good.
It's like, how do you have a field goal percentage that high?
It's a lot of layups. Yeah.
Dunks and layups.
Man.
7.7 boards. Still doing that work on the offensive glass as well. That's going to be an issue. Could be an issue. The Bulls have struggled with that recently, pulling down just over 3 offensive rebounds per game.
You catch that reference, Dave?
Oh, the big crit? Oh, yeah. I caught it, bro.
Nice.
If you stretch out his per game numbers this season so far to per 36 numbers, he's actually even better than last season, or at least getting off to a better start, because he's only averaging about 19.5 minutes off the bench so far in these first 9 games. But his per 36 numbers, he's scoring more, he's rebounding more, he's blocking more, everything more.
And that's kind of what you see with, I think, especially big men like that, where you can kind of equate it to Javonte Green, where he's able to come in and just provide you this incredible spark off the bench. But when you stretch out his minutes to like 30, 28, 30, 35, it like you just can't play with that kind of energy the whole time. So they're working him back in. Obviously, his defensive impact is among the league's elite. But he also just gives them a vertical lob threat that they don't really have when they're going 5 out. But the way that the Bulls have played the Celtics, and the reason why they've been so competitive against them, is because of the Vooch post-up game and the way that he's able to take advantage of that switching defense. With Robert Williams there, it becomes a little bit more difficult.
Just a tad. And the good thing about when I shouldn't say good for us, but the good thing about when players like that come back to the lineup, everybody immediately goes back into their natural positions and their natural roles. It makes things easier for guys like Al Horford, who they had to depend on, for the post play and depend on for his 3-point shooting and things like that. Now he could just be the help defender. Now he could be the guy helping to get rebounds and things like that. And now he can stand out on the 3-point line and shoot those threes like he's been doing. And, he take a little more rest as well because he is a veteran. So he makes things a little bit easier for that team when you get that kind of talent back in your lineup. So it's definitely going to be a problem. And I'm very interested in watching that matchup with Vooch, man, because Vooch is good, and he's really good against centers, period. He's one of the best in the league. So I just really want to see this matchup with him and Time Lord.
Yeah, and it's interesting, to see what the Celtics do differently with their big men. Will, you're talking about Time Lord being that, at the rim presence. Horford has not had the same turn back the clock season that he had last year. He still is elite. I don't know if you guys saw, I think it was Kurt Goldsberry put out that shot chart and who's leading the league so far in the NBA from which spots on the floor.
Yeah.
Shout out to our guy DeMar DeRozan,
Flex.
who had top of the key inside the 3-point line and then just to the left of that.
Right.
The mid-range king. Al Horford still in that corner three, leading the league in volume and efficiency. So it's like with Horford out there, he's out there to space the floor, and then when Time Lords get minutes, they're going to be pounding the ball inside, so the Bulls are going to have to adapt to that defensively.
And that's what makes this Celtics team, I think, so special, is that they can beat you in so many different ways. It's not like they are at their best when they're playing small or they have these two lumbering bigs and they've just got to go that way. Like, they can mix and match. They can go big and have 5 out. Big and have 4 out with the dive man. They can have 5 out. They can just do so many different things. They can switch everything. Obviously, Marcus Smart out tonight, but with Malcolm Brogdon, who is just an absolute Bulls killer, with Derek White, with obviously Jalen and Jason, they're just so switchy and versatile that they can defend you in a million different ways.
Yeah. And Jaylen Brown as well, man. Damn problem.
We're gonna take a look at the Tatum and Brown duo later on tonight, and also head-to-head matchup. How is that duo done against the Bulls duo of Zach and DeMar? In the comments, we got some Bulls fans hanging out. Ostis Jr. saying Time Lord is no joke. Vooch has to pick his shot selection wisely. Laura reminding us that Horford was doo-doo in the last Bulls Celtics matchup and hope that continues. Man's getting a little old.
Man.
He's finally showing some signs of age this season.
He's the new PJ Tucker, though. Baselining them all day.
Broom saying Vooch is smart enough. Our guys better be cutting and ready to shoot the 3.
That's a fact.
Man, remember when the Bulls hit 20 of 34 threes the other night? That was fun. Can we do that again? Can we do that again?
Felt good.
Man, I mean,
nice.
I don't know the last time I've been this excited to sit down and watch Zach LaVine shoot threes as I am tonight.
10 to 15.
We heard Billy talk about it after the game where, 11 to 13 and then 6 to 12. And he was, you were there, Will. He was telling Bulls media, 10 to 15. That's the number for Zach.
And it's funny because he's never really, he never says, we have to do this X amount of times.
Right.
We have to give Patrick Williams X amount of pick and rolls. We have to make Zach LaVine shoot X amount of threes. He never wants to put guys in a box like that. But I think they're getting to a point where they're realizing it's just so difficult. If we're not getting to the foul line, far and away the best in the league, if we're not offensive rebounding, if we're not shooting a bunch of threes, if we're not forcing a bunch of turnovers, the margin for error is just so small. And so they have to up the 3-point attempt rate. They just have to. And obviously, when you have one of the premier 3-point shooters in the league, you probably want to make him shoot a few more threes. So it was kind of funny. Somebody asked, is there a number you're trying to get to? And he was like, to me, 10 to 15. I would love that. And I think he's absolutely right. I think one of our goals coming into the season was double-digit 3-point attempts per game for Zach. And why not 15?
Yeah. Why not? Why not 15? Why not? All right, more getting ready for this Bulls Celtics showdown coming up after this quick break. A word from our friends at DraftKings. While we're doing that, if you're hanging out with us on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. It's right underneath the video on your screen there. It's a little thumb-shaped button. It's real easy to just go ahead and click it.
Looks like that.
Appreciate it. Y'all know that I love to get some betting done on NBA games.
You?
On DraftKings.
What?
Yes, me.
Wow.
But you know what? Tonight, I'm going to talk to all of you football fans out there because you can also have fun make bets, and make money betting on NFL wild card action with DraftKings. The NFL playoff picture is locked in. You know who's not involved in it? The Green Bay Packers. Suck it, Rodgers. God, I'm so happy today. So freaking happy.
This is you happy?
Yeah. I'm in a great mood.
Oh, man.
Bless those Detroit Lions.
Yeah, that was awesome, though. Bears #1 pick.
I love it. Yesterday was such a good day. Plus, I made some money on DraftKings.
Well,
so
that
it
didn't
was
hurt.
a truly great day.
That damn sure
DraftKings is an official betting partner of the NFL, the NBA, and our official betting partner at CHGO. And to kick off the road to Super Bowl 57, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Plus,
bad.
all new and existing customers can get a no-sweat bet each day of the wild card NFL round this upcoming weekend. Just place any NFL bet of your choice, and if it loses, you'll get a free bet back up to $10. Action so good, why bet NFL playoffs anywhere else? So download that DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code CHGO. And reminder one more time, new customers can bet $5 on the NFL and get $200 in free bets instantly, only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code CHGO.
Nice.
You got any dark horses in the NFL, Dave?
No.
No?
I do not. I haven't even thought about it yet. It hasn't even crossed my mind. I think I'm just like Chiefs are winning everything in my head. That's just how I feel. I just feel like
I have something about DraftKings.
Patrick Williams' first basket?
It's not about that. It's actually not. It's about football. It's not about the NFL, but it's about the college football national championship. They
You
are
got money
having
on
a,
that?
They're
Which,
having
like,
a
kicks off in like 15 minutes.
They're
right?
having a promo. So if you go to the bottom right of your app and you click the promo thing, it's a mystery boost, and it's one of those mystery boosts where little thing comes on your screen and there's like an animation with like a gift opening and it shows you a number. And so if you're someone like me who appreciates that type of thing, I got a 25% boost, but it's more about the little animation happening. Also, foregoing Patrick Williams' first bucket in favor of the attackery tonight.
Going first bucket attackery.
First bucket, Zach?
Love that.
How do you come up with this stuff, man?
Also-
Well, I'll tell you how we come up with it. Celtics,
Who-
big, long wings, athleticism. We need Zachary shooting a thackeray for the first backery. I tried it. Big Dave.
I appreciate the effort.
There is a
we'll clap up the effort.
There is a bar, Joseph. There is a bar.
He just tried. He tried his first one. It was all right. It was his
There's
first
a
one.
bar, and I came in with a shovel.
You did. We'll try again. We'll try again,
Who
sir.
can resist the allure of that DraftKings mystery box,
That's
though?
the box. Do the
The
Peter.
mystery box is, it's a crazy feeling.
Oh, it's a boat, Lois, but a mystery box could be anything.
It could even be a
It could even
box.
be a boat. You know how long we've wanted one of those? Then we'll take the box.
It doesn't get old to me.
Uncanny.
We'll take the box.
Uncanny.
For your information, Lois, it's called Dogs Humping, and it is the cornerstone of our Wednesday night lineup. Remember when Peter ran his own TV
Yeah,
station?
PTV.
Yo, man.
Oh, PTV. So good.
I can listen to this all day.
Okay, moving along, back on track to Bulls Celtics tonight. Quick injury update. Good news, bad news for the Bulls.
Oh, no.
Javonte Green still out with that knee soreness.
As expected.
As expected. Good news, Cookie Monster is back.
Let's go.
Alex Caruso available to play tonight. I believe that Billy is going to keep things as is, though. Ayo Dosunmu in that starting lineup,
He
bringing
should,
Caruso
yeah.
off the bench,
He should.
which was the case when Caruso came back from his previous absence
Right.
before the ankle sprain.
Yeah, you're on a winning streak. You know what I mean? You don't want to change anything for that reason at all. So, yeah, keep it like that. And Alex coming back from an injury. You can manage his minutes better. Yeah, I like it.
Super sub.
Super sub, baby. Super clamps.
Meanwhile,
Clamp
meanwhile for the Celtics, obviously they are still without Danilo Gallinari. That ACL injury,
Okay.
real bummer for him. Could have been a game-changing piece for the Celtics team.
Very true.
But you know, it's not like the Celtics roster needs any more help.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart, meanwhile, left knee contusion, questionable coming into today, officially ruled out, will not play. So a little bit of help for the Bulls there. 'Cause Marcus Smart can be a handful.
Yeah, you can.
Defensive player of the year, I'm told.
Yeah.
First
According to
one
your sources.
since
According to
the
my
glove.
sources.
First one says the glove.
Yeah,
But
first guard.
Backcourt
yeah.
player to win Defensive Player of the Year.
We
That's
talked
impressive.
about like their defensive versatility. He's a big piece of that, right? Like you're not switching 1 through 5 with, I don't know, maybe they can try with Derek White or Malcolm Brogdon, but it becomes a lot harder. So I think when I wrote that story about Vooch post-ups, a lot of it was based on his ability to post up or not post up Marcus Smart and the difficulty there. So just another added piece of intrigue for this matchup.
King of the 50-50 balls too, man.
Ooh,
like if
dude.
there's a ball to be had, Marcus Smart is going to go get it. And changed his whole, got himself a 3-point shot, man, over the years.
Yep.
Man. Just became lethal from there.
Built himself a 3-point shot and really grew into that point guard role for the Celtics team. That was like, all right, Tatum is an on-ball guy. Jaylen Brown can be an on-ball guy. But like Marcus Smart has been the one, including taking a team all the way to 2 wins away from an NBA championship last season to run their offense in a lot of their half-court sets.
Yeah, he's a good player.
So he's a big piece for them to be missing tonight. Good news for the Bulls.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Tatum and Brown, they'll be out there, and they are a handful. Let's take a look at the combination of what Tatum and Brown have done versus the Bulls, and vice versa, what the combination of DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine have done against the Celtics. Those are in the 3 games played between these two teams so far this season, their averages. And all 4 of these players have played in all 3 of these games. So you see basically getting 50 points combined from Tatum and Brown, and just around 52 from DeRozan and LaVine. So it's sort of like not to trigger some Bulls fans out there, because I know some people don't like it when our friend Joe over at the Sun-Times uses the whole Batman Robin thing to talk about DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, because I think we know he does it to trigger those Zach LaVine fans.
Like him. You don't do that.
I know. He never throws Twitter grenades. Never, ever.
Never.
But, I mean, Tatum and Brown and DeRozan and LaVine have sort of a similarly existing Batman and Robin thing when it comes to leading their teams offensively every night. The interesting thing, though, is that in all 3 of these first games between Bulls and Celtics, that was before Zach got his groove back. Like, the most recent one was, I think, late November, and it was really the month of December when Zach started to get himself together, as you see, averaging just 19 in the first 3 games against the Celtics.
And I think, again, going back to this defensive versatility, because I think the Celtics are really known for that, although their kind of offense has been their driving force this year. But in part, DeMar has been so good against the Celtics team because they switch everything, no questions asked. And so when that's the game plan, he automatically has a window to just rise up and hit his mid-range jumper. And when you give him any amount of space, any amount of time, more likely than not, it's going in. So I think just against this type of defense in a regular season game where they're not, changing their game plan to match up with him specifically, that's just a matchup that he can really dominate against. And then you get Zach, where he's now realizing the power of his pull-up jump shot. I think we might start to see the same from him too.
I like when Jaylen Brown and Zach go against each other. That's always been a debate, especially among my friends, who's better, Zach LaVine and Jaylen Brown, and it's always neck and neck when it comes to those guys. So I like when they go at it against each other, because one day you'll see Jaylen Brown drop 35, and then you'll see Zach, come back,
hit 11 threes.
You know what I'm saying? And do those kind of things, man. So, yeah, we know what the stars are going to do. You know what I mean? Or your Batman. We know what they're going to do. We know what Jason Tatum and we know what DeMar is going to do. But it's going to be interesting watching those 2 guys go at it. And I think that's going to be your game right there, to be honest with you. The way Zach's been playing and how he's been feeling, he could really change the tide of that game if he keeps that up.
You wonder, though, if Tatum and Brown are really building up to tonight, knowing that it's on their home floor and the last time they'll face the Bulls in the regular season, and that they're down 2-1 in this season series. Neither Tatum or Brown have played their best in any of these games against the Bulls so far.
It's true.
I mean, even though they have been averaging 30 for Tatum and 20 for Brown, respectively, in their 3 games against the Bulls, it hasn't been efficient. Tatum has been shooting just under 42% from the field in these 3 games against the Bulls. Meanwhile, Jaylen Brown, just over 40%. That is not the efficiency you expect from those 2 players. Meanwhile, the Bulls have benefited from the fact that DeMar DeRozan in 3 games against Boston so far, 53% from the field, classic DeMar stuff. Also 93 from the free throw line, where he has gotten a lot. And Zach has not been super efficient in his 3 games against Boston at just under 40% from the field, but he has hit 47.5% of his 3-point attempts against these Celtics. So it's like, does that come closer together tonight,
Yeah.
where Tatum and Brown are more efficient. Maybe Zach and or DeMar are not as efficient as they have been against the Celtics so far. It's wild to think about the fact that the Bulls not only have 2 wins and 1 loss against these Celtics, who lead the Eastern Conference right now. They have 2 double-digit wins, and their 1 loss was by 4 points.
They played them really well.
I like it.
And the Celtics, I think, at this point in the season, aren't even playing their best basketball. Obviously, they're still number 1 in the East, but just had a really tight game with the Spurs.
They did, yeah.
They are, over the last 2 weeks, 5th in offense. The Bulls are 3rd in offense. And they're 17th in defense. Bulls are 20th. So, again, it should be pretty tight on both sides of the ball. The Celtics have been the number 1 point differential team this whole year, but kind of tapering off as they sort of reacclimate with Robert Williams and now, try to figure out life without Marcus Smart.
Right.
Yeah.
Did I say Marcus Williams?
No, you said Marcus
Robert
Smart.
Williams.
No. You good. And they've been so interesting because they haven't found, even though they're 28-12, it just feels like they have, like you said, haven't found that rhythm. It's been like ups and downs with them. I mean, they just gave up 150 to OKC.
They did.
You know what I mean?
They did do that.
Like, so they haven't found that true rhythm where, like, we're the dominant force right here, and the Bulls can come in and capitalize on those kind of things, man. So, yeah, it's just going to be an interesting game, and Caruso will definitely help. I think that's also the reason why those guys' shooting numbers aren't great, is that defense the Bulls are putting on them in that backcourt is frustrating those guys. So, should be interesting, man.
And I think the Bulls' defense has been better than the numbers would indicate. Their execution, their on-ball pressure, the way that Vooch has been meeting handlers at the level of the screen, I just think it's looked a little bit sharper to me over the last few games. Obviously, their numbers aren't great. They're 20th with a 117 defensive rating over the last 2 weeks and 19th in the league on the year. But it feels like they're starting to execute at a bit of a higher level. Obviously, you're going against one of the top offenses in the league. Maybe it doesn't look so great tonight, but it just seems like things are kind of starting to click.
I like this comment from Lego Head saying Zachary Attackery back to backery.
I love
that
how
would
this
be
is taking off.
If Zach LaVine puts together another brilliant performance tonight, that would be 3 in a row.
Yes.
And, I mean, we've been talking about Zach.
Backery to backery, if you will.
Why stop? Why stop at 2 or 3?
Why stop?
But, as much as we kind of compare the super duo of Tatum and Brown to the Bulls super duo of DeMar and Zach, we were talking about Vooch earlier on in tonight's pregame. Good night, Cav.
I like your
I
hat.
had fun with you today. Thanks for chauffeuring me around the city. Keep your eyes peeled on those CHGO Sports social accounts for some cool stuff that's going to drop in the near future. He was like my Uber driver today.
Peck's a diva.
It was great.
Peck is getting his diva on. That's all.
Hey man,
I'm proud of you.
I was told what to do, and I showed up and did what I was told to do.
Get in the car. Yeah. All right.
But the fact that Vooch is also a viable option for the Bulls, a viable weapon.
Yeah.
The fact that we have seen in this recent stretch when the Bulls are 8-3 in their last 11 games, it's not just DeMar or Zach or Vooch. It's the fact that all 3 of them have been playing well. And in his 3 games against the Celtics this season, you know what Vooch is averaging?
What's that?
18, 16, and 5.
I'm going to say that's good.
18, 16, and 5.
And again, that's why that matchup with Time Lord, it just looms even bigger, because you know how good he's been playing when he hasn't been there. So him being out there and just whatever Vooch wants to do, the big man historically don't like coming out on threes. So I think he's going to get those looks from there for sure. But it's going to be when he go down inside, when he's finding those guys open. I'm so interested to see how they're going to work his 2-man game with Zach LaVine now that Zach's got this catch and shoot coming from the 3, what that's going to look like. I'm very interested to see how that is going forward too. So, yeah, it's a lot of things to look at in this game, and that's a good thing in what happens when you play the best team in the East.
And then I think it also comes down to, we talked about starting Io versus Caruso. We talked about the Patrick Williams figuring out what quarter he wants to start playing in and then scoring 16 points in said quarter. Like, those guys have to show up tonight. This cannot just be a 3-on-3 game.
Yeah.
I think the Bulls do not have a good chance in that scenario.
Correct.
But the way that, especially down the stretch of last game where Patrick and Kobe both hit monster threes, like you need those guys to continue to step up too. And that's where, Bulls are 8-3 in their last 11. It's because you're getting contributions from, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th guy on the bench, And then also the big three is starting to play with some synergy and complement one another.
Nice.
As we were talking earlier on about this
Synergy.
Bulls team's lack of three-point shooting volume and where it can come from other than Zach, and the fact that Vooch has had strong games against the Celtics so far this season, he has been doing it more so inside than outside. In 3 games combined against Boston so far,
Give it to me.
he's only taken 9 threes.
Wow.
Whereas he's averaging 4.5 per game across the season.
Right.
So that's 1.5 fewer averaged out per game in 3 games against the Celtics thus far.
man.
So will Vooch try and get it going inside? Will it be more difficult if you got a body like Time Lord in there? Or will Vooch try and get things going and spacing the floor? Because the Bulls need some three-point shooting.
Yeah, and I just want to know who's going to be the X factor for Boston. We've seen it be Malcolm Brogdon. He's been
Brogdon.
killing us.
He went 9 for 10 in one matchup.
Yes,
like,
he did.
Just is a Bulls
Yes, he
killer.
did. He was a monster game.
Where do you guys think the Sixth Man of the Year conversation is right now? And do you think he's leading it?
I hadn't
have to
really
think
thought
on
about
it.
it.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah,
question.
Yeah.
Just revisiting that
up
because
there.
when we made
Food for thought.
our season award predictions before the season started, I picked Brogdon. in the
Oh, that's
Sixth
why
Man
you're
of the
bringing
Year.
this up, to make yourself look great.
Exactly.
Honest. All right.
I know, but
All right.
also to say that I was surprised that not more people were picking Brogdon as Sixth Man of the Year favorite.
I don't think they were thinking about. I don't think it crossed their mind that he was on Boston. Like I just don't think a lot of people thought of that. Like, oh yeah, he is there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Balling out.
Doing his thing. Man,
Brogdon is, I believe, has the second best odds to win. Plus 400.
Who's on?
Russ at minus 110.
Russ
outta here.
Russell
Give me-
Westbrook.
Give me
Oh,
Brogdon.
hey, the Lakers have won 5 straight.
I think
Whatever.
Jordan Poole was the
Cool.
He was the trendy pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't give it to Russ. Yeah, he start. I don't know. I don't know about that one.
This could be from the early part of the year. I'll see if I
Westbrook
can
is
find
doing,
updated
you know,
numbers.
Westbrook as a vet and an aging vet numbers off the bench of the Lakers, but like that team is a mess. I don't know about you
They've
guys.
been winning lately, man.
I am not convinced by this little win streak that they have going right now.
No, but LeBron's doing LeBron stuff, but then he's realizing how old he is, which is why he's not playing tonight.
Yeah.
So things like that happen. But he's been phenomenal these past about 6-7 games, man. He's been really, really great.
Just statistically speaking, Westbrook has still been really effective, but it's hard to quantify it, especially with him in his whole career because he fills the stat sheet. But like 23 and 15 and 5 off the bench is like those are going to be Sixth Man of the Year
Okay,
numbers.
that is 6 man
Yeah.
numbers right there, bro.
23
Damn.
and 15 assists.
Damn. I said that. Damn.
He's averaging
And also
that?
just the fact that
No, that was his last game, but he's averaging
Oh.
on the season
I was like,
15
there's
and
no
8.
way. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like
23
he's going to
and
get
8,
extra
23
credit
and
for
15.
deciding to be a sixth man.
100%.
You shouldn't
That's a
get
good
extra
point.
credit
He
for
shouldn't,
that.
but you're right though.
He'll
You have
be-
to embrace the changing tides.
Ooh.
What do you think? Like Russ is just going to be a starter forever? No.
How many other players do you think have won MVP and Sixth Man of the Year? I can think of one.
Who is?
Kobe. He
Kobe
was
won
he
Sixth Man
was-
of the Year?
I believe so. His first season.
Oh wow.
when he was a
Maybe not.
youngin?
Now I'm second guessing
No,
myself.
that couldn't have been because I'm just thinking. I thought Ben Gordon was the only rookie to win Sixth Man of the Year.
He was the runner-up for Sixth Man of the Year.
He was
he's
runner-up.
Okay, yeah.
Because he was backing up Eddie Jones.
Eddie
Jones.
Jones. Eddie Jones.
Maybe
Man, I
not then.
love
Has that
Eddie
never
Jones.
I
happened?
did too, man.
Dude.
Right out of tempo.
I
love Eddie
have a
Jones.
ridiculous amount of Eddie Jones cards in my basketball
Yeah,
card collection,
he was
including
nice.
Temple Eddie Jones
Yeah,
cards.
Temple Eddie Jones was a monster.
Dude.
He was
The
a
only
monster.
player to ever win an MVP. Maybe this is Finals MVP also, but Finals MVP, regular season MVP, and Sixth Man Award. Bill Walton.
Ooh, he sure did. He won Sixth Man with the Celtics.
I might have
He
been
sure
able
did.
to get there eventually, but
Yeah.
not on this show. It's 6:31.
Speaking of which,
It's time to watch some Bulls.
6:31 Chicago time means Bulls tip-off is right around the corner. Do us a favor and hit that thumbs up button before you head out. If you haven't already, we appreciate it. Make sure, of course, you're also subscribed to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel so you can
Do
get
it!
alerts anytime we go live, pregame, postgame podcasts. We'll be right back here in these very same chairs
Yep.
for CHGO Bulls postgame after Bulls Celtics. Let's get our 4th win in a row, shall we?
do it.
Can we do that?
Super duper.
Should we do that? I think we should do that.
Really quick, in the comments, James Harden was the runner-up to J.R. Smith. He did not win the Sixth Man of the Year award. He would have been a great guess as well. He was a
Would
great
be
guess, but
guess. Yeah,
that's
you're right.
Harden didn't win
J.R.
Sixth Man?
Smith.
no, he lost to J.R. Smith, I believe, in that Thunder season.
That's
That's
wild.
rough.
He was an amazing Sixth Man.
All right, y'all. Let's get a W. We'll be right back here for post game. We will talk to you then. See you, Red. Be good.
Peace.